Yeah, look, it's great conditions for him today, and they went off obviously at a very fast pace. But the key to him is just not to take him back. Really, you know, his main advantage is sort of mid race, where he seems to get a lot of horses sort of uncomfortable, and you know, just getting them out of their comfort zones really.
He's done it very straightforward in a manner that we've probably learned over the years. He's starting to be even more relaxed. Is that something you're pleased to see, the way he travels through his races? He's sort of saved a bit more for the end now as he's getting older.
Yeah, sure. I mean, look, he's a 6-year-old, and you know, he certainly knows more about racing than most of us now. So, you know, horses, you know, they need racing. It does them an awful amount of good, and he's got very professional now in what he does. We've got him in a great routine at home, and you know, it's everyone back at the yard. You know, all done a great job, and you know, but you've got to take credit to the horse. You know, for a 6-year-old sprinter to still have the enthusiasm he has every day, and you know, he's a true athlete, really.
I think that's the most hardest thing that you have to do as a trainer, is keep their enthusiasm up, and we're getting spoiled with the longevity of Stradivarius and Naval, and he's certainly another one that joins those three.
Yeah, so. You know, I said that earlier, you know, we're just very fortunate to have 3 6-year-olds, you know, what a generation that was, you know, but we're treated to see Stradivarius win here 4 times, and able to be kept in training, winning the King George 3 times, you know, so it's just, it's great for racing, and you know, I think we're very fortunate to carry on.
How much longer would you like to keep him racing for as long as he shows you all that enthusiasm? Because he's still quite lightly raced, only 22 starts.
Yeah, he's very lightly raced really, but you know, like I said earlier, as soon as he stops showing that enthusiasm and the form he's shown today, then you know, we'll have to call it quits, but hopefully that's the way off yet.
Would we be likely to see him lining up in Nunthorpe now? Unibet have got H11 heading the betting for him there. Would we see him up at York?
That'll certainly be the plan. Definitely, you know, it's good timing. He did the 2 races last year, so we'll hopefully try and do the same.
And just finally from me, will we also potentially see him lining up at the Breeders' Cup at the end of the year, all being well?
Look, we'll have to. It'd be very exciting, but you know, we'll have to speak to Sheikh Handam and the team, and we just wanted to get the Nunthorpe out of the way first, and then just, you know, it all depends as well, because the ground ended up very soft at the Abbey last year, which didn't seem to suit him at all. He had a bad draw, so you know, we could end up maybe looking elsewhere if the ground's soft.
Brilliant, and thank you very much. I'm going to open up to the floor in front of you, so if anyone would like to fire their questions away.
You mentioned that there, just you were here to see Mahatha come in, where you said reception Stradivarius. What does that mean, seeing Batash get that reception from everyone here? I mean, that was probably the loudest cheer we've heard all week, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I just heard. I just watched on telly. Marcus, you know, it's great. You know, he seems to have captured the imagination of the public, and you know, he's been around a long time. You know, he has his little quirks, which is great. It just shows, you know where you stand with him, which is, I think, what helps you know, capture the imagination really.
And for you personally, what does it mean, you know, for yourself?
I'm just very proud to be involved in a horse like him. You know, he's the kids at home, you know, they love him. He's just a pet really at home. You know, he's not big, imposing type of horse. You go in there, cuddle him, and he loves the attention. And you know, it is like having a little pony in the yard.
Did you feel any sort of pressure on the shoulders though? Were you sort of coming here relatively relaxed?
Well, I think it's the first time he had a Group 1 penalty, is it? I think so. That was something a little bit different, but look, I mean, we knew if he, you know, showed what he did at Royal Ascot, then he's going to be very hard to beat on a track which suits him.
And the track record time as well. I mean, that was something else.
Yeah, amazing. Ed Arkle said we might do that yesterday. So look, I think this time of year the ground should be fast. You know, these horses like fast ground need to have their turn. You know, it doesn't need to be watered all the time.
Charlie, you sort of earlier when you saw Qatar Stakes, to be sort of defended his behaviour. I mean, there have been times, or Hannigan would say, when he's crossed the line a little bit. But do you feel he's in the best place he's ever been in now in terms of how he is, his attitude, his behaviour?
I think so. You know, sprinters, you sometimes say, you know, when they're 6 is probably their best year, really. He's fully matured now. He's great mentally. He's fantastic. He's in a really good spot. He's been moving fantastic on the gallops. You know, he's only done two swing encounters since Royal Ascot. I thought arguably one of them was the best I've seen him ever do. So he's in a great spot at the moment, and it'd just be nice to try and keep him that way to York.
How hard has that been to get him into that level, or is it?
Not now. He's pretty straightforward. You know, he's only in training 6 months a year now. He goes and has his winter holidays at Shadwell. So I think, you know, all in all, he's been very well managed horse, and that's why we're getting a good sort of the longevity in him. Really.
Not to compare him as a horse with Mother or Justin Judge or Phoenix in Spain, but they've given you some great days. Does he just, with his longevity, just give him a little bit of a nudge up that in your affections?
Well, yeah, it's great. You know, like I said, you know, keep these horses in training at 6 is really what us trainers love to do. Keep good horses, you know. But obviously, you know, Murrah, they all that Phoenix in Spain, they have to go and do another job. But obviously, he was gelded, so you know, if he probably wasn't gelded, he wouldn't be here. So, you know, I think we're all benefiting him staying in training.
It's sort of, we talk about when we're following from what James said then, sort of more controlled, isn't it? That pace you say in the middle of the race, but it's a more controlled.
Yeah, they went very quick to that. I mean, I don't know, I haven't really spoken to Jim yet, but he said he couldn't really take him back anymore. You know, they went flat out, but he's still tanking him. You know, he doesn't really want to be taken back too much.
You need your age running against you every.
I know, he's pretty quick.
And Chad, just looking ahead to York as well, obviously there's been talk of these, you've got the American 2-year-olds and other sort of 2-year-olds.
Yeah, no, exactly. You know, and you've got Art Power there as well, so I think it's good that you've got, you know, new horses coming through, and as it should be. You know, there has to be some new blood there.
And obviously we know the weight difference, isn't it, between the 2-year-olds that they're going to be getting from him and that, but he seems to be.
Yeah, you know, it is a lot of weight, obviously, but I think experience counts an awful lot, really, in a race like that.